What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and you can join us at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, thanks to our friends at Fired Up Network, our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official, and of course those beautiful TV streaming platforms around the globe. I'm talking about Roku, Samsung Plus, Amazon Prime, all those good channels, Jinx Esports TV, ESTV, and a whole lot more. Scott, before we start the show, you've been in the world of Starfield. Welcome to the solar system, dude. Welcome to Starfield. What's your first early impressions?
Well, I had a good time with the character creation.
Yeah.
Just like yourself, it took me a while to move on. I created a character based on an anime character, Spike Spiegel. I know that's not for you, but Cowboy Bebop fans are out there, and I see you. But this game is so expansive that I'm still trying to find my groove. I'm following waypoints as long as I can, and I know that's not going to take me very far at all. I'm a little scared, but I'm having a good time so far.
Fair enough. Don't be scared, Scott. Why don't you tell us about what's on today's show?
And today we have Red Dead Redemption 3 and GTA 6 rumors. That's starting to heat up quite a lot. We have PlayStation's rumored state of play for September and the future of Redfall. We're going to get into that.
Absolutely. Let's dive in. Scott, if there's one or two games we keep talking about with rumors, well, it always comes from Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 3 officially in the works. It's claimed. Grant Taylor Hill over at Insider Gaming has this to say: it has been claimed online by a popular leaker that Red Dead Redemption 3 is officially in the works. This could be because Grand Theft Auto 6 is nearing the end of the development cycle and preparing for its impending announcement and, well, its release as a result, which we just heard rumors, Scott, again, rumors, dude, that GTA 6 will be announced next month, with it coming back around in a full circle 1 year later on October 24th for its actual official release. We can get into that in a second because I got a lot to say about it. GTA 6, but let's get back into Grant's article here. The leak comes courtesy of My Time to Shine over on Twitter, who recently also posted a claim that Hogwarts Legacy sequel is in development, which we reported on here as well. Admittedly, My Time to Shine is more of a movie-focused leaker, specializing in Marvel and DC, as these, well, those are some pretty good sources, though, if he's talking about Marvel and DC as well, Scott. But as these leaks are yet to be uncorroborated, we're waiting to establish a video game focused track record for the individual. Regardless, it seems obvious that Rockstar would, in some capacity, be working on Red Dead Redemption 3. We just can't say at all what that game would look like. There are suggestions circulating online that lean towards Red Dead Redemption 3 being a prequel to the prequel and being set before the events of Red Dead Redemption 2. That's an interesting thought, Scott. It would, in the case, show the Vanderlyn gang in their early years. If it is indeed focused on these characters at all, it would be fitting for the game to run up to the events that occurred in Blackwater that saw the gang scattered at the start of Red Dead Redemption 2. Much like the events of the end of the Ultimate... Now, we won't get into spoilers, but it's one of those things. What an interesting thought to get into Red Dead. Of course, dude, you have to think, we're wrapping up on GTA 6. Majority of the crew right now over at Rockstar is definitely focused on getting that game out the door, having it polished, be ready to go on day one, which will lead me into a couple more questions. But thinking on Red Dead Redemption 3 side of things, you also got to think that that's coming around too. Granted, they did shut down Red Dead Online, which has been a heartbreaker for all of us, which also recently saw an update on a quest within that world. So,
yeah, that's bizarre.
Dude, like out of left field, all of a sudden, yeah, more content dropping. I'm like, what do you mean? Some more story content within the world of Red Dead Online. So you can check that out. I have yet to get there. We've been focused on a lot of reviews lately. A little one called Starfield kept me pretty busy.
Yeah.
So it's been weird to, man, so much time going by on games, and we want to get back to, dude, I love the world of Red Dead. I think that is an incredible story. It is interesting to me, though, the take on Red Dead 1, then you get into Red Dead 2 with a prequel to John Marston, and now we're getting a prequel of a prequel, possibly, as rumors are having it, and speculation is starting to circle, that we get into the Vanderlyn gang and how that all went down and fell apart. Dude, that is actually a pretty good setup. Red Dead 2 was in 1899 for a time period. So that means now what, we go back 20 years?
Ooh, that might be a little too early though. These were Western times. I don't know how old these guys lived for.
Yeah, maybe 5-10 years, right? Just lead up to the events of Red Dead 2 and how you're running across the mountain, which had, dude, arguably one of the slowest starts in gaming history. It took me right out of the game, but once you get past that and out of the snow, it was a whole different game. What an experience.
You know, that's funny. That intro is one of the reasons I haven't been able to finish Red Dead Redemption 2, because I have to go back. There was a save issue anyways. I really want to get back to it, but the idea that it could be a prequel is not so out of house, because Red Dead Revolver, I believe, is before Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Hence why it's the Redemption. But I'm wondering if this will fit more into a Red Dead Revolver kind of game versus Red Dead Redemption that's more open world, very GTA-esque. And given that the online was shut down for number 2,
Heartbreaker.
What feels like suddenly, and I suppose it wasn't really sudden, but maybe this is kind of a change in direction.
So you're thinking they might change it up a bit. I think, dude, this is Rockstar. Rockstar doesn't do anything but go for the top and make things big or bigger, as we're going to find out with GTA 6, which sounds like the map is 3 times the size of GTA 5. So I don't think they go smaller. I would think they would go bigger once again. My question is, where do they set this up? We often thought going into the end of Red Dead 1, it would take off after that ending. And, yo, I'm spoiling it right now, I'm telling you. If you haven't played Red Dead 1, well, I'm sorry. But, yo, Marston dies, his son takes over, goes for revenge. And then that's where you pick up again and see what he can kind of go into as Jack. No longer are we John, we're now Jack. And where does that progress his story, his timeline moving forward? But again, if that's not true, and if they're working on Red Dead 3 and they're thinking a prequel of a prequel, which, dude, is that a first in gaming history? A prequel of a prequel? Seems kind of whatever, but, you know, it has me excited too to think about if we get into that Vanderland gang situation, can we then get back to the online and bring over some more of those heists and things that went down in the prequel of the prequel for Red Dead 2? Dude, it's so weird.
I like the idea of a sequel, though. Jack Marsden going back, and Red Dead Revenge would be an interesting title.
Absolutely. Okay, so as much as I want Red Dead 3, I really want more Red Dead Online as well. Like, they have to bring that into the effect. But as we know, we are getting GTA 6. Rumors, like I said at the top, getting into announcement next month, about the 23rd. Is what they're rumored to say is when we're gonna actually get a reveal of GTA 6, and then from there get it a following year later, next October, which has me very excited to finally get in. Dude, we're just in GTA 5 last night, having a great time once again, but we're looking for more. We want the newer version of it, right? We want to see what else we can get into, but again, we're back in doing heists and having a blast. So, but something on current gen, updated graphics, gameplay, mechanics, so much to do and get into the story. When GTA 6 drops next year, Scott, do we get it how we received GTA 5, and do we get the game first? You get that for a month, 2 months, and then we get the next online iteration of GTA, or do we get everything all at once?
I'm really hoping that it's everything all at once, because I don't like this kind of split release, not since Halo did me so wrong. But I'm hoping that they've learned from the first GTA 5 release. Funny that it's the first GTA 5 release, because that's when all the servers were just offline for way too long. And then when it came online, there was a huge amount of problems. And I expect there to be some problems on launch, but I would still like to see that day one, because otherwise it's not going to have that same impact with the greater GTA community. Because there's people, as much as we jump on every once in a while to catch back up, there's people that just play GTA 5 all day online.
Absolutely.
And you're going to want to accommodate them.
I think so, but at the same time, I think if anybody can pull it off and do it correctly, it's Rockstar, right? Everybody knows GTA. Everybody will wait for We've been waiting 10 years, dude, for this, right? Sounds like we're going to be waiting 11 by the time we get to it. But at the same time, drop the campaign. Here's the problem. You drop both, And it's just like the Call of Duty sequence, right? When they drop Call of Duty, people will drop multiplayer, not even touch the story. How much has Rockstar invested in the story that they're like, yo, we want you to play this first? And if that's all we can get for the next GTA for, say, 3 months, 2 months, dude, people are still going to play that. They're going to jump in because we're so hungry and starving for the next GTA that they're going to go, yep, I'll play the story, finish it, re-roll another character, and play the story again, right? They'll do it until online.
I thought of an interesting function. Why don't they just tie some of the upgrades, some of the unlocks for online behind the single player game? Some of the cars you capture, maybe some of the buildings you would buy in online. If we put that offline, like you say, if that is a precursor to the online release, then that would give you something to grind towards, and that would make sense there.
That'd be cool. But getting back into the whole Red Dead thing situation, the prequel, is it one of those situations too, if we do get online, are we going to get some of those features that we missed in the first Red Dead Online? Because we were supposed to be able to buy buildings eventually, right? I get you're a bandit and you're always on the run, and that's why your camp is always on the move. You never quite know when you load in where you are in the map until you've loaded in, taken a look at the map, and go, oh, now I'm over on this side, or now I'm over here, or I'm over by Strawberry. So like Valentine, like you never quite know where you're going to bounce. Here, they talked about, you know, heists. We've heard rumors of heists coming over, or maybe it's just us wanting more than anything else. But there were supposed to be opportunities we can actually buy and purchase buildings like we do with GTA 6. There's obviously a lot of crossover between the two in circumstances as far as game mechanics and ideal ideas that we'd like to have, like heists. So if we do go back in time, dude, I wonder if this sets up the online component for Red Dead, and if that sticks around longer than Red Dead initially online component did. Because man, when that went down, like it's still there, we can jump in and play, but there's like they
not supported.
It's not supported. It let the community die, and the community was there, and we were hungry for more, and we just didn't get it.
Oh, if they want to make a lot of more money, they're gonna have to angle this online suite pretty well, because that is their bread and butter nowadays. I think we can.
Yeah.
I almost think for that reason alone, we can bet on Red Dead Online for 3 coming back in a big way.
Nice. Scott, another insider has confirmed that Sony will be holding a new edition of the State of Play this September. We are only maybe a week or 2 away, I would expect, from this, but let's get into it. This is Anton over at Gadget.com. Recently, 2 reputable insiders at once reported that Sony will be hosting a new State of Play show in September. Now renowned whistleblower I Am Hero, who was previously reported. Dude, I can't really. Man, where do people get these names from? Truthful
Reddit
information.
is full of strange names.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Reported truthful information, including Persona 3 Reloaded and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, has revealed Sony's plans. Here's what we know. I Am Hero reports that Sony will have a State of Play take place this September, and it will focus on Asian games. The insider is sure that Sony will show Project, the Preceiver, a new Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, and maybe Persona 6 will be announced. Scott, if this is the case, this is not what I want to see in the next PlayStation showcase.
Yeah, especially if we get towards the anime kind of section. That's kryptonite to you, as I understand.
It is. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Sony needs to showcase something. Obviously, we're getting Spider-Man in October. They will show Spider-Man here. They're getting it set up. They've been doing a banger job of showing off gameplay, trailers, impressions, like things along that line, and been setting up Spider-Man 2 for its release next month. This will be in the showcase. It has to be, because they're only a month out. Don't forget about Spider-Man 2. It's just around the corner. I know, as hungry as we are, we just saw PlayStation release the Spider-Man 2 consoles and the controller. You can also get the faceplates. Dude, I'm gonna get the faceplates. I have a PlayStation. I just give me the faceplate. I don't need another. I do need another PlayStation, but that's for my wife. But either way, so it's it's one of those.
You need one for the crew member, Scott.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we need one for a couple. You and Corey still. Dude, we need to see more than this. Like that, I want to know, what does the rest of Sony's library look like going into next year? I know Spider-Man is going to be like the show ender for them this year, but at the same time, we've heard rumors of getting into a Horizon kind of Monster Hunter experience. Is that ready to show? Where is Ghost of Tsushima 2? Is that ready to show yet? Probably not, but you gotta think Sucker Punch is getting close to it. What is Sony been working on? Right? Their last game, Days Gone. Dude, that's been gone forever. So, like, what are they up to? We need to see more on Haven Studios. That cinematic trailer did nothing. I want to see what Marathon looks like. There is a lot more to show than just these Asian games. I get this is going to be for a specific market, but dude, there's the rest of us who want to know what else we're going to be playing here shortly. Right now, I don't feel Sony has revealed too much in their library as to what we're getting into on an in-depth level, where we get more of a... I want more of a showcase and not a state of play, right? So if it's going to be a showcase, then show what you have. And I'm hoping, I have high hopes, dude, we get something soon, and it's more than just these 3 titles. I get there's Kingdom Hearts and there's Persona fans that people are they are pumped. This is exactly
Kingdom Hearts is a big one for a lot of people, so I know that's going to draw eyes alone.
Yeah,
but for Spider-Man, is there anything that Spider-Man could even show us at this point? I feel like I've seen a lot.
No, at this point, I don't need to see Spider-Man, but I'm telling you, they're going to put it there because they don't want you to forget about it, right? At this point, I'm good. I'm already sold. I didn't need to see the last Spider-Man trailer, even though I watched it like 5 times. It was one of those, man, that thing is cool, right? We saw Lizard in there. We saw Kraven. We get a little peek at, some of the mechanics behind things. And then Peter getting overthrown by the Insomniac kind of suit and how he's getting entangled and it's changing his attitude. I'm like, yeah, we're going to have to save Peter at one of these points, right? Like, that's kind of where to pull that symbiote suit off of him and get kind of going on within the story. But, dude, you reach a point within the game and like, I don't need to see anymore. Like, GTA 6, I want to see it and then bounce out real quick because I just want to experience the game, right? Just when we kind of... It's a little unique as what we do is we cover the news, but sometimes you try to go on media blackout as much as possible, but it's hard to do. But yeah, it's for Spider-Man. I'm good now, but I just feel they'll have it there. So because it is next month, they want to showcase, hey, don't forget about this. But what else do they have to show, Scott? Because I think they have a ton in development, but with very little shown. And I think if we get on these 3 titles, there's got to be something else there for others as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's any of the big IPs. We're going to see a God of War teaser. We're going to see a Horizon, like you say. There's a lot of options, a lot of possibilities, but being that it's not a state of play, it's not going to be one thing lasered down, right? It's going to be more of a, here, look at the future. And that's something we need at the end of this tail end of this mega season we've had.
Absolutely. They have to show us what we're getting into for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, go.
This next topic has a bit of a soft spot on both of our hearts, I think. Bethesda executive says that Redfall won't be abandoned and that it'll get to be a good game. Chris Scullion at VGC goes on to say that speaking to GamesIndustry.biz, Hines was asked if the reception to Redfall has placed more pressure on Starfield, which releases on September 6th. Very close. Hines answered that even if Starfield was to have a tricky launch, Bethesda wouldn't just leave it to fail. I suspect it's going to have a pretty good launch, but that's just an intuition there. Quote, "We are always in the process of learning, so that's not new for us," end quote. He replied, quote, there are many quotes here. "We don't like failing to meet our players' expectations. At the same time, we are the same company that has had launches that didn't go the way we wanted, and we don't quit or abandon stuff just because it didn't start right," end quote. Hines went on to state that Bethesda will continue to work on Redfall to ensure it becomes, quote, a good game. The Elder Scrolls Online PC patch was not flawless, but we stuck it. He explained, "Now it's like this insanely popular multi-platform. It's the same with Fallout 76. Redfall is no different for us." Quote, "Okay, we didn't get the start we wanted, but it's still a fun game. And we're going to keep working on it. We're going to do 60 frames per second. We're going to get it to be a good game because we know, as a first-party studio, Game Pass lives forever. There will be people 10 years from now who are going to join Game Pass, and Redfall will be there." Quote ends. Following several delays, the first major Xbox exclusive from Bethesda released in May with various technical issues and has reviewed poorly, garnering aggregate scores of 56 and 53 on Metacritic.
Ouch.
Ouch indeed. Xbox Game Studios boss Matt Booty said in June that there were no plans to close Redfall developer Arcane Austin. I really hope not, saying he felt Microsoft should have done a better job to support the studio. Quote, I feel accountable that we could have done a better job with Arcane, end quote. Booty said, echoing comments made in May from ex-boss Phil Spencer. So, the big takeaway from here is that Arcane is going to be working on Redfall for a long time to get this game to where it should be, so that people, and this is quite an ambitious thought, that games from 10 years on from now, people are still going to go back, play Redfall, and think, okay, they stuck it out. They really built it up to where it was supposed to be. But it's a personal opinion of mine that I don't think it's going to get there. And I think this is kind of a detrimental... It takes away resources from what Arcane could be working on. And I almost feel some sympathy for who gets stuck on that desk.
Eventually, right, you just get burnt out on working on a project that you just don't care about. And I don't say that they don't care. It is more like they're just done, right? They're ready to move on. I would think in this case, with the reception that I saw, I get you want to get it up to a better standard, but I think it comes down to more than just bugs and polish. I think it comes down to the gameplay itself. I think that leads into more concerns of how do you fix that game? You have to rebuild it from the ground up. I think that's how bad Redfall is, right? There's a reason why it's seen the reception it did. It's not because of just some jank and some bugs. Dude, the game just wasn't good. And that's the bottom line. So we'll see if they're able to fix it in the long run. And I get you can go from like a No Man's Sky situation, and then all of a sudden now everybody's playing, or like Pete said, Fallout 76, dude, came out with a rocky start, but now look where it's at today. All kinds of people playing it. Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls is a little bit of a different story though, right? I feel like they're constantly innovating and updating and introducing new content, where Redfall is Redfall. That's a point A to point B kind of game in an open world scenario across Redfall. And I think it's just, there's more behind it that doesn't work. That is the bigger problem. I think that's what it boils down to. I think it really comes down to the gameplay itself. And without actually redesigning the output of the game, how do you fix that game? I'm very curious to see if they're able to do that in the long run.
I'm very curious to jump into that myself, just to get more firsthand knowledge on how bad Redfall is right now. And there is some humor to be had about Bethesda having a bad launch. I really hope that is not true for Starfield. Fingers crossed.
Well, Scott, we've seen some big games coming out, and they've been massive lineup of so many things to play each and every day, but today's a little quieter.
Oh, just another few to add to the backlog or get out in front. But we have Chants of Sonar, and that's on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And Rune Factory 3 Special is on the Nintendo Switch.
Cool. Dude, Chants actually looks cool. I want to check that game out. Well, that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'm Drew. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.